There's a ton of content online about getting a new kitten, how to prepare for your new kitten checklist. What do I need for my new kitten? How do I care for my new kitten? How do I train my new kitten? There's endless content, and I've created a lot of it myself about getting a new kitten. But one of the things that people don't usually talk about is, what do you do if the new kitten doesn't work out? What if you get the new kitten and then for whatever reason you decide you don't want to keep the new kitten? It's kind of a sad thing, and if you're here watching this video, you might be pretty upset about this, and I do understand because this actually happened to me, and we're going to talk about that in today's video. But in today's video, I'm going to talk about what to do if you don't want your new kitten, what not to do if you don't want your new kitten, and I'm going to be giving you a lot of help on what to do if you don't want the new kitten, but I might also be able to help you to be able to keep the new kitten if that is what you would really like to do, okay? So if you have not been here before, my name is Deborah. I own peoplelovinganimals.com, and I do videos all about the care, health, and training of dogs and cats. So if you would like to have that sort of content regularly, I would love it if you would subscribe if you're not already. And if today's video is helpful, please do give it a like. It really does help YouTubers when you do that. Now, we're going to use this post on my website called What to Do If You Don't Want Your New Kitten Anymore. I'm going to give you a link to this post and everything in it. I'm also going to give you links in the description box to everything that we talk about in the video. I'm going to have more videos for you, some free resources for you, and that sort of thing. So go ahead and just relax. We're just going to use this post just to guide us through today's video. Now, this little cat here, her name is Dolly. I named her Dolly. She is the kitten who I decided to get rid of. It was 100 years ago. I was married to my first husband at the time. We already had 2 adult cats plus a little wiener dog. And somebody's, friend of a friend, somebody's cat had a litter of kittens. And this one was kind of the runt of the litter. She was much smaller than the others. And as you can see, she was absolutely beautiful. Her coloring and everything. She just was an absolutely beautiful kitten. And I begged my husband. I said, please, I really wanted her. And he's like, no, we don't need another cat. And I begged. I'm like, please, I've got to have her. She's so adorable. Well, guess what? It didn't work out. And I think that she had some behavioral issues, and I think that part of that might have been because she was a runt. I'm wondering if maybe she had some, literal disabilities. I don't know. But her behavior soon became very annoying to me. She drooled a lot. She was very needy, kind of in a gross way. She'd always want to suck on my hair and my earlobes. That might sound cute, but it was excessive. And she was drooling all the time, and it was gross, and it was very annoying. And I sound mean even saying this, but you know what? If you're here, you need somebody to talk to, and I can relate. Now, luckily, we had a neighbor next door named Phil, and he was one of the biggest animal lovers on the planet. He really was. Well, he really loved Dolly, and he agreed to adopt her. He really wanted to adopt her, and he said that he would, and he did. And it was very painful for me to make the decision to give Dolly away, to give her to him, and to, mommy doesn't want you anymore. Do you know what I mean? It was extremely painful for me. But I thought, you know what? I'm not going to be happy with this cat. I'm always going to struggle to put up with her. I'm always going to struggle to be kind to her. And Phil won't. So I thought it really was in the cat's best interest for me to give her to Phil. And ultimately, I am very glad that I did it. She had a wonderful life. She lived a very long time. He and his wife absolutely adored her. And I know that it was the right thing. But it was extremely painful for me. Now, luckily for me, I happened to give them to my neighbor, so I did get to see her sometimes. Now, unfortunately, my husband and I divorced not long after that, so I didn't see her again. But I always knew that she was okay, and I always knew that she was in a good home. And I do know from word of mouth that she did, in fact, have a long and happy life. So If you got your kitten and you can't keep it for whatever reason, I'm going to give you some tips about finding a new home for the kitten. But as I promised, we are going to talk about what if you want to keep your kitten. Okay, so hang on with me if that's really what you would like to do. But if you want to find a new home for the kitten, you could contact the shelter or the rescue organization where you adopted the kitten and simply return it. They do usually allow that. Be honest with the shelter and let them know why you're returning the kitten, because you don't want the kitten to just be adopted out to a new home and then that owner is troubled by the same issues, no matter what the issues were. So be honest and say, this kitten drools all the time. She's very needy, whatever, and that way they can find a more suitable home for the kitten. You can try reaching out to your family or friends, ask if anyone would be interested in adopting the kitten. You could try posting online, put something on your Facebook page about finding a new home for the kitten. And also, don't just ask your friends, do you want this kitten? Say, would you please put word out, so that they can put a word out. Do you know anybody who would want to adopt this kitten, right? Now, one thing I do have to say, and I don't want to scare you with this, but I want you to know, there are weirdos online. There are people who are looking for free kittens or puppies because they have a snake they need to feed. Okay, I'm sorry to say that to you, but be careful who you just hand the kitten over to. You might want to even charge a little something, $20, $25 or something, because you don't want to just put a sign out in the yard, free kitten, because somebody might pick it up who literally has a snake that they need to feed. Okay, so just be careful. Don't just hand the kitten over to anybody. Make sure that it's somebody that maybe somebody that you know or was referred by a friend. Okay, just to eliminate that possibility. You can also try asking your veterinarian's office. They usually know of a cat or a kitten rescue or adoption organizations. They might know just from their clientele. Maybe somebody lost a cat recently and they're like, wow, they might want this cat. Your vet's office could help. They could help. Also, act quickly. Don't wait too long to rehome your kitten because they do become more attached to their environment and the people they're with the longer they stay. Okay, so it's best for you if you've decided this kitten is not going to stay here, get it a new home as quickly as you can. And if you are not happy with your new kitten, chances are your kitten's not happy either. Okay, so it is best to find them a home where they're going to be happy, okay? And where the owner is going to love and adore them because that's what they deserve, right? What not to do if you don't want your new kitten anymore. Do not abandon the kitten. Never leave a kitten outside or in a place where they can't find food or shelter, hoping someone will magically, find the kitten and help the kitten. It may not happen. It's probably not going to happen. Do not abandon the kitten anywhere and don't leave it unsafe or uncared for. Don't give the kitten to someone who shouldn't have it. For example, don't give the kitten to the kid next door who thinks it's adorable. Make sure the kitten is being adopted by responsible adults who understand the commitment of adopting a cat. Don't ignore the issue minimally if you're struggling to care for the kitten, but really don't want to give it up. Reach out to a shelter or an animal welfare organization or your veterinarian for advice. Now, that brings me to this question. Do you just need help with the kitten? Okay, are you like, I'm beside myself, I don't know what to do with this kitten, I got to get rid of it? If that's the case, hold on a second, okay? Because if you are a first-time cat owner, perhaps you are struggling. You don't know how to take care of this kitten. Maybe you don't know how to litter box train the kitten. Maybe you don't know how to train the kitten. Maybe you don't even know how to feed the kitten or care for the kitten, okay? Maybe you're having difficulties with, the kitten and other animals in the house or something. Don't feel bad about it because, some of us, I've had 150 years experience, I've had 1 million cats, but I did have a first cat too. And I didn't know what to do when I got my first cat. Okay, so don't beat yourself up about it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you in the description box links to some more videos about this. I've written posts and I've done videos that can help you. One is how to take care of a kitten, step-by-step guide, and that covers everything, training, litter box, food, covers everything, okay? Their veterinary care. I'm also going to give you a video for tips for introducing a kitten to your new home, and that might help you if you're struggling with, how do you fit this kitten into your life, your family, if you have other pets, what your schedule is. That might give you some help on those sorts of issues. I'm also going to give you a video called What Does My New Kitten Need? And I'm going to give you the link in this video to get a printable checklist of the things you need for your new kitten. Okay, so if you really want to keep your kitten and you just need some help, please go ahead and watch those other videos, because you might get the help that you need. And I don't want to talk you into keeping the kitten. If you really don't think it's going to work out, it is best for you to go ahead and find a new home for this kitten. But if you're like desperate, like I really want to keep this kitten, right? Then I'm going to suggest that you please watch those other videos, because you might be able to get help with it and you might be able to keep the kitten. If you do ultimately decide that you can't, I am going to give you a link for a post from catrescues.org called I Can't Keep My Pet, and that helps you also on finding a new home for your kitten. So thank you so much for visiting. I hope that this post was helpful. I'm really sorry for you that you're having this issue. If you got a new kitten, you probably got it because you wanted it, or maybe you didn't want it. Maybe somebody got the new kitten for you as a gift, or or something. But I'm sorry that you're struggling, and I'm going to ask you to please be patient. No matter what the problem is, please be patient. Please do the right thing, okay? And please feel free to go ahead and comment below this video if you have questions or if I can help you with anything specifically. I am happy to help you with this issue if I can. So again, thanks so much for watching. My name is Deborah, and my website is peoplelovinganimals.com. Thanks again. Bye-bye.